The Harrier returns, swift as a crow on the wing. I have prepared the ritual fire. Did you bring the components I requested? Well done, Harrier. Now, once we undertake this ritual, we will be bound by blood and spirit. It's a union stronger than stone and more eternal than the stars. Are you ready for such a commitment? Good. So am I. Let's hope the spirits feel the same way. Place the components in the fire and stand back. No matter what you see or hear, stand your ground and think about our alliance. Keep that purpose in your mind. Understand? Heed our call, Hunt King. Two great packs seek the same full moon. Make them one, bound by common prey. Let Rach and Raven drink of the same dark blood. How your blessing, mighty Hircine. Send the sign, and guide our hunt. Look, Hircine paints our quarry in smoke and stars. Our pact has been blessed, Harrier. The ritual was a success. Our union has been blessed by Hircine himself. I'm not certain what the spirits showed us, but I'll figure it out eventually. I always do. Are you ready to search for the keystone now, Harrier? I think I know where to begin.
Well, that was a pretty display. Say what you will about Hircine, but he's definitely got an eye for spectacle.
Between the Raven Watcher's expertise and Aroda's knowledge of the Reach, we have a fighting chance against the Grey Host. Just stay mindful. Even sealed by a Daedric ritual, this alliance remains young and fragile. We must nurture it. Yes, Betharzel. I overheard while you were speaking to Arana. We discussed finding it while you were gathering the ritual components. Locating the keystone is your next priority. Arana indicated that she wanted to accompany you. Gwendis brought news from Markarth. Lady Belaine has departed the city, and she intends to give chase. I will assist her in the hope that pursuing Belaine might turn up something useful. Just don't let that keystone fall into Rada al-Saran's hands.
The ritual was a success. Our union has been blessed. Aye, Harrier. We're bound together now. And how else will you find anything in those forsaken depths? I think the skytail we saw in the fire, the snake, will point the way. Once I figure out how it connects to all this, that is. That's what we call the shapes in the stars. Constellations is your word, I think. Some of my sisters can read the stars the way you read a book. See the future, learn the truth in every twinkle. I don't have the knack. It's fire and bones for me. We made a pact, and Hircine blessed it. He put us on the scent, and I plan to track it to the end. Besides, without someone who knows the Reach, the map's useless. You know what monsters hate? Silver. According to the stories, Betharzel is full of it. I need to speak to Tayfern before I set out. Go on, Harrier. I'll find you on the trail. So the legends say. A treasure trove of the pure metal. Enough to arm my warriors with weapons to slay every vampire and werewolf that marches with the Grey Host. And your keystone too, with any luck. No, but rich folk don't make a habit of poking around in the deep places of the world. The Hells are dangerous enough. Still, Betharzel's legend tells of silver and other wondrous treasures. Wouldn't surprise me to find your keystone there. We'll find something. That's for certain. In the Reach, treasure can mean all sorts of things. A plump cave bear is a treasure to a hungry clan. But as for silver, you won't find a better metal for killing vampires and werewolves. It means what it means. We're tied to each other now. What happens to one, happens to both. Thin-bloods make alliances with ink and parchment. We do it with fire, and oath, and spirit signs. I think you can guess which practice is stronger. Then they'd better lace their foot coverings tight, because they'll find no peace in the wild. Every wolf, hawk, and red-eyed stag heeds the Hunt King's call. You see, rich alliances have teeth. Your Ravenwatch friends better not forget that. Something to do with stars, I expect. How that might lead us to the entrance to a dwarven ruin, I've no idea. I think better out there among the rocks and trees, though. We'll see what we see and sort it along the way.
What do you want?
Look, Harrier. A plaque. Let's examine it. That's a skytail. We call it the Hunter, but I think you would refer to it as the Thief. These plaques are as old as these hills, Harrier. Take a look. That's the Witch in the Stars, or the Mage, as you call it. We think the dwarves placed these plaques, but no one really knows. See what that one says. That depicts the skytail of the headsman. I think your people call it the warrior. I knew it would come to me, eventually. The ritual, the plaques, the map. It finally makes some sense now. You missed it too. What a pair we make. What did Hircine show us? He revealed the snake, which I thought was just a substitute for our prey. But the skytails on the plaques, the witch, the headsman, and the hunter, they're the Wraith Guardians. Look at your map. See how the marks form the shape of the snake in the stars? And see how one mark is missing? If If I place it here, we see the snake in its entirety. That's where we need to go. As for the Rich Guardians, well, we'll see. Storytellers say the dwarves knew the stars better than anyone. Strange passion for people who lived underground, eh? Anyway, let's get to this final location. The snake in the stars is the corruptor, the enemy. If permitted, it would consume the lesser stars without hesitation. Luckily, the Guardians, the headsman, the witch, and the hunter, stand strong and defend the lesser stars. The witch shines her light on covens that protect the rich from outsiders and others who mean to do rich folk harm. Her good eye sees through everything, rock, water, and flesh, to find the hard truths. And when she speaks, she never lies. He carries an axe, doesn't he? The headsman stands for swift ends and payment in kind. He delivers justice and punishment in equal measure. The hunter is the wiliest of the Sky Tales, clever as an old fox and swift as a young one. She watches the snake in the stars, finding it no matter where it slithers. She teaches us to keep our feet quiet and our keels as silent as the night. Aye, this must be the spot. Just look at all this dwarf craft. The entrance to Batharsel must be around here somewhere. Always a trick with dwarves, though. Look at these pillars. More sky tales. Turn those stones in the right order, and I think we'll find our door.
This looks promising.
Indeed. A dwarven lock of some kind, I suspect.
Damned dwarves, am I right? Devices aren't natural, what with all the gears and cogs and everything. Ugh. I try not to think too hard about dwarf mischief. But I do have a notion. We found 3 Skytails in the hills, right? Guardians they were. Your warrior, thief, and mage. I think we need their help to catch our prey. I've no mind to rush you, Harrier. But if you want to snatch up this keystone, you might want to hop to it. That looks right to me. Did something, Harrier. You hear that? Well done. That did it! Wait. Something's not right. A darkness.
Arana, are you all right?
An ominous turn. Come, my friend. Let's talk. The door opened, but something happened to Irana. She mentioned something about a darkness. We should check on her, but we also need to determine that the keystone we seek is here. No, that she has a sensitivity that I do not possess. Most powerful witches do. Let's hope she recovers quickly. It is said that mechanical horrors guard the depths of Batharsel. No matter what, we must find the keystone. Mind the shadows and be on your guard. In addition to the mechanical traps and defenders, we know that Lady Belaine is also seeking the keystone. Lady Belaine has had more time to research the Arthzan keystone than we did. She may have already known about his location and the hidden door. Or she may have known a different way to get inside. Then again, she may be looking somewhere else entirely. I certainly hope not. Between the dwarven scrap dealer and Arana's ritual, everything seems to point to this location. I only mean that Lady Belaine may be operating off of a totally different set of suppositions. Dwarven keystones not only provide access to forbidden or otherwise sealed areas, they also tend to radiate ancient magic. The uses for such a relic are potentially limitless. I won't be able to determine more until I see the keystone itself. Gwendis and I can cover more ground on our own. Let's find the keystone.
So this is Bethar's area. Mind your feet, Harrier. Every bit of metal in here means to do you harm. Dwarfcraft like this. Must have been the chiefs who lived here. Chiefs are grand metalworkers. Namira's blood. They cut the heart out of the ground. It's an entire city under the earth, hiding something worse beneath. Close to something, something. Were true. Silver. I'll send crafters down to carve it out, as we deal with the rest of these metal beasts. I hear something. Wailing and scratching at the walls.
There. That must be the
There's
artisan
darkness
keystone.
all around. What say you, Harrier? Ready to give up your... Damn it! Elaine took the keystone. That metal beast is standing in our way. I don't hear any clanking behind us. I think we're clear. Curse that Lady Belaine. I thought if we could acquire the keystone, we could finally get the upper hand. I'm tired of snapping at the heels of the Grey Host. I want to go for the throat. Maybe, but you have to go alone from here, Harrier. There's a fork in the path, and we need to go our separate ways. At least for a while. There's something down here. A darkness. Like leeches in a pond, it takes little bites of my soul. I need to get back to the surface. I need to see the sky, feel the wind on my skin. I'll rally the warriors and start preparing for the fight to come. Protect your heart, Harrier. This darkness will lead at you too, if you let it. Keep an eye on Verandas, Harrier. Rad al-Saran was toying with him. He's got plans for your friend, I think. It's hard to explain. Most witchcraft is. Imagine a boulder. Heavy, solid, huge. Now imagine some grinning bastard lowering it onto your chest. Slowly at first, but it starts to crush you. Little by little, it becomes harder to breathe. It feels like a wet rag sliding down my throat, choking the life out of me. I'll manage. But you need to stay wary. All of you. Whatever it is, it's like a black pit at the center of a sour fruit. And I don't think it belongs in this world. Dwarf magic is hard to hold. It's so clean, all straight angles, no frayed edges. So natural is what it is. The keystone might open a door, but more than that, it's eager. It doesn't just want to open, it wants to activate something. I'll send crafters to gather some. We'll fashion it into weapons, arrow tips, coated blades. We have a few metalworkers in the clans. Use what's on hand to survive, same as always. Silver hurts the Grey Host, so we'll work with silver.
Gwendis, think this through.
No. They slipped the noose once. That's not going to happen again.
My friend, I thought I could catch Rada and Lady Belaine. Convince him to... Anyway, I'm sorry I failed us. They acquired the keystone and escaped across the river, toward that dwarven structure in the distance. Unlike Gwendis, we can't rush off without a plan. Clear heads will win the day, mark my words. This contest is far from over. With a fresh trail to follow and new allies at our side, victory is closer than ever. And much of that is because of you. This must be Blackreach. I've read the legends, but I never thought it was real. The stories hardly do it justice. Perhaps one day I'll have an opportunity to explore it more fully. For now, we have work to do. Are you still with me, my friend? Ah, the keystone. What is it, and how is it connected to that dwarven structure? Why are they so important to Radha and Lady Belaine? Perhaps they seek to harness some sort of dwarven sorcery? Well, regardless, we can't allow them to achieve their goal. Yes, but we need to proceed with caution. We don't know the purpose of the keystone, and we don't know what they plan to do with it. That said, we are not without our own talents. We can overcome any obstacles and find a way forward. We always do. I'll meet you across the river. Together we'll find a way to enter that ruin. Seeing Radha again, it reopened many old wounds. He wasn't always the villain. At least, I like to think he wasn't. Ah, a fool's hope is a dangerous thing. Conflicted. I suppose you could say that. We were friends once, partners, in a great and noble undertaking. And then Radha changed. Maybe it was me. Now, who can say? He betrayed what we believed in, and then he died. Or at least, I thought he did. Without a doubt, Radha's plans, whatever they are, will prove catastrophic to the mortal realm if allowed to proceed unchecked. I hope I can talk to him, appeal to his better half, and make him see reason. If not, I'll do whatever I must to end this. We have the ability to mask our condition from mortals, but it takes a powerful vampire indeed to hide from another one of our kind. As much as I hate to admit it, Belaine fooled me. I can tell you this, she's unlike any vampire I've met before. All vampires carry the stain of Molag Bal. It's the inescapable reality of our condition. But Lady Belaine, I sensed something else inside her. A vacant darkness. Still, if I can speak to Radha, perhaps we can settle this without bloodshed. I was able to study the keystone, briefly, before Radha and Belaine snatched it away. It's a faceted stone bound by a metal band, obviously of dwarven design. I'm not a Dwemer expert, but the keystone, it could have 1,000 different uses. It shares some similarities with Ayleid Welkin stones, but as far as I know, the Ayleids and dwarves had little to do with each other. That's puzzling. Magic stones often serve as power sources, as well as keys and even weapons. I reached that same conclusion, my friend. Let's get over there and find out, shall we? And if the opportunity presents itself, perhaps I can get Radha to see reason and abandon this destructive course he's set for the Grey Host.